Hey everyone, welcome back to the Cultivated Candle Co YouTube channel. We have a fun one today. We will be sharing a quick and easy tutorial on how to take your vintage tins, whether they're a vintage candle from us or something from your collection, and turn them into planters for indoor plants. Vintage tin planters are a super easy DIY that's a great way to add some vintage charm to your home.
Seriously, how can you go wrong when the combo is vintage plus plants?
It's a great way to add reuse to your vintage tins or your Cultivated Candle Co. vintage tin candles after you're done burning them. This process takes less than 30 minutes and the supplies are really simple.
Alright, so I think we have what we need, so let's get started.
So of course, the first thing on our supply list are vintage tins that we're going to use as planters. And at Cultivated Candle Co., we always work with vintage. You guys know that. So we're going with vintage tins, but really any tin you have around the home you could use. You also want to choose your vintage tins or tin based on the size of your plants. We have this snake plant. You can kind of see the size. And so I know this grandmother's T10 is going to be a good fit because the tin is larger than the original planter. That's just going to make sure that the plant has enough room to grow. Our plants will be in our brightest room, but we still wanted some with more low light, low maintenance options. We're not plant experts, we're candle and vintage experts, but I do know that snake plants are easy beginner's plants for low light areas, so we of course had to go with one of those. So I went with this premium potting mix because it was what was recommended by the garden workers where I bought my plants. So I am going to start with our Maxwell House coffee tin. We don't need the lid, so I'm going to take that guy off. And the first step is creating drainage holes on the base of the vintage tin. I'm basically just going to do that with a hammer we have at home and a larger nail. For this vintage tin, it's pretty wide, so I'm going to create 3 drainage holes on the base. I'm also going to do this in the lower parts of the tin where I know water is going to be more likely to go to. So you may have been wondering, what the heck do coffee filters have to do with our planters? So that is actually our step 2. So now that we have our drainage holes, we want to make sure that soil doesn't leak through when we water the plant. So that's where coffee filters come in. You could even use paper towels. We are pairing this adorable Maxwell Coffee House tin with this cute plant, so it's time to get to potting. We have everybody potted up, and now is the time just to decide what are we going to put at the base to catch the water when we water our plants. In our case, we used tins that all had lids, so these actually fit right on top, and it makes a perfect catcher for the water. You just have to make sure, as you can see in this case, that it's evenly on top, and this just helps us not have to use another plate, and it's a perfect catcher.